Hello everyone. So this is the video lesson 31, and in this video lesson we are going to discuss some more basic concepts which are going to be very useful in our future study and future topics coming of our syllabus. Okay, so in last video lesson we discussed the different features of the diffraction, that the diffraction is the bending of the light, the bending of the waves through the sharp edges or obstacle or the aperture, or or basically diffraction may be also be obtained by some other mechanism, for example by the variation of refractive index like that of the things. Okay, so diffraction is the exclusive and the ordinary property of all the waves, whether it is mechanical or sound wave or any type of wave, or maybe the matter waves or the de Broglie waves. Okay, the basic condition of the diffraction is that the wavelength of light, the wavelength of the wave to be diffracted should be the order of the size of the obstacle. Okay, so this is the condition for the diffraction, and here we see that the light, the visible light, has very small wavelength. The wavelength of light is about 4000 to 8000 angstrom, and such size of the obstacles are very rare in nature, and that's why the diffraction of light is also very rare in nature. Okay, but however, in some favorable conditions we try to obtain the diffraction of light, and hence the diffraction pattern on the screen. Okay, so the diffraction of the light may be obtained by two methods. There are two methods for the diffraction, so today we are going to discuss it. So the types of the diffraction, so basically there are two types. One is known as the Fresnel diffraction or near field, where the screen and source and obstacle are at some finite distance, and second category is the Fraunhofer diffraction, and this is also known as the far field diffraction, where the source, slits and the screen are at very large distance, or maybe at some infinite distance. Okay, so let's see the Fresnel diffraction first. In this class of diffraction, the source of light or both are at finite distance from the diffraction element, so no modification of wavefronts by lenses or mirrors. So this diffraction deal with the either cylindrical or spherical wavefront. In this class of diffraction, distances are more important because we are going to put the source and screen at very small distance. Okay, so basically the incident wavefront is either spherical or cylindrical. No lens is required for the observation of the pattern. Okay, so the center of the diffraction pattern may be bright or dark in the case of Fresnel. Okay, it is not necessary to be always bright, it may also be dark in the case of Fresnel. And one important feature of the Fresnel diffraction is that the diffraction pattern is the image of the source. Okay, and the intensity calculation is based on the half period John method, which is not perfectly accurate. It is just like the approximation. Okay, so the treatment of the Fresnel diffraction is somewhat complex for the mathematical point of view. Okay, so this is the Fresnel diffraction. Okay, now let's see the Fraunhofer diffraction. So in this class of diffraction, the source of light or screen or both are effectively at infinite distances from the diffracting elements. Modification of wavefronts by use of the convex lenses. Okay, modified. The source is placed at the principal focus of a convex lens and the screen is placed on the focal plane of the another convex lens, the incident wavefront is plane. In this class of the diffraction, angular inclinations are more important. So this is the far field diffraction known as the Fraunhofer diffraction. So in Fraunhofer diffraction, the source, the screen are at infinite distance from the slit. The incident light wave is plane wavefront. The diffracted light is collected by the convex lens. The center of the diffraction pattern is always bright. Okay. The diffraction pattern is the image of the obstacle. The intensity on screen is calculated by some integral method, but you can say that the Fraunhofer diffraction is simple to treat quantitatively. Okay, so here there is a figure showing the basic difference between Fresnel and Fraunhofer. So there is a source here. Okay, there is a source of light here. A wavefront is coming through the slit or obstacle. So if we analyze the pattern very close to the slit, so this is the region. So this is the region of the Fresnel zone. That means for Fresnel diffraction. And if we move far from the slit and somewhat large distances, then we found another pattern which is known as the Fraunhofer pattern or Fraunhofer diffraction. So basically Fresnel is diffraction is of the finite distances, while the Fraunhofer diffraction is the diffraction of infinite distances. Okay, so let's see a mathematical term which can distinguish these two types of the diffraction. This mathematical term is known as the Fresnel number, capital N, is one way to differentiate between the two regions. Okay, one is the Fresnel, other is the Fraunhofer. It can be calculated using the relation r square over lambda L is equal to n. Here n is the Fresnel number. Okay, so here n is the Fresnel number. R is the effective radius of the diffracting object. Here this is the diffracting object, this is the obstacle slit. So the size of the slit is represented by the R dimension, its dimension, and L is the distance from the diffracting object to the imaging plane. Imaging plane means the screen. Okay, so capital L is the distance from slit to the screen. Okay, so the Fresnel diffraction occurs close to the diffracting object where capital N is very greater than 1, equal to or greater than 1, while the Fraunhofer diffraction occurs effectively infinitely far away from the diffracting object when capital N is very less than 1. Okay, so these are the two methods to obtain the diffraction of light. Okay, diffraction of light is very complicated and very difficult because of its extreme short wavelength. Okay, however, in our laboratory or some in favorable conditions, the diffraction of the light may be obtained and may be studied and very interesting. Thank you.